Hey folks, welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow. In the previous episode, we left off just before the boss at the top of the demon guest house, and this time we're going to face off against the boss. But before we head in, let's get a good setup for the fight ahead. Now, I recommend either using the Killer Clown Soul for its quick hits and long range, or the Disc Armor for its multi-hit capacity. As far as your Guardian Soul goes, Great Armor is your best bet for an extra hit, and Lilith to boost your soul power just slightly. Now, since we're using soul-based abilities, I recommend using Serenity Robe for its intelligence boost, and then Flame Necklace to boost it another 5 points. And that should be a good enough setup. You won't need any specific weapon since we're using souls here. So let's hit in. There he is. So this is that demon in the mirror that Yoko was talking about, and this is Paranoia. Basically, you just want to start off the fight by keeping somewhat of a distance from him. Whenever he goes back into the mirror, make sure to switch out your Guardian Soul for Bat Company and then fly. Hopefully somewhere on one of the middle sides of the mirror. And generally the best place to avoid an attack from the lasers that he emits from his miniature mirrors. And then basically, once he comes out of the mirror, just pwn him. It shouldn't be hard at all. But, as you can see, he didn't leave a soul, and another door opened. So, of course, there's a part 2 to this battle. So, let's switch around our setup here. For this next boss, I recommend quite an interesting setup. Your red soul really doesn't matter, honestly. I just chose Une because we'll be using plant abilities, and might as well. Anyway, the real important one is Allure Une, the Guardian Soul, and then Skeleton Farmer to boost your plant type abilities. So, with those in use, get ready to watch the ponage. It's pretty ridiculous. Anyway, here's true Paranoia. And as you can imagine, he's much bigger and therefore a bit more difficult. In this stage, he'll float at the top of the screen. Basically, just summon Allure Une and she'll do so much damage it's ridiculous. And just avoid him whenever he hovers above you because he's about to drop on top of you. Yeah, anyway, you should be able to do him in one attempt like that without even worrying about the mirrors if you're at a high enough level. If you're not, just change into your bat form and you can actually hide under one of the 2 lower mirrors most of the time and avoid any shots. Anyway, that's Paranoia for you. And from his soul, we gain the ability to enter mirrors. Quite useful, I imagine, since we've run into, I think, 7 other mirrors along the way. So we'll get the heart core here and head into the next room and see what our reward is. Ulrock's suit, there we go. And this is a suit favored by Count Ulrock's. As you can see, it boosts defense, strength, and constitution, but it lowers your intelligence compared to Serenity Robe, of course. However, Everseeing has a better defense score at this point, so we'll stick with that for now. Anyway, yeah, switch out to your normal equipment and items and soul abilities again, and let's visit this mirror over here and try out Paranoia. Aha! We enter this new dimension. Now notice you can't leave the room from either side. That's true of all of these mirror dimensions. Anyway, they all contain little secret items such as that mana prism there. So we'll collect that and head back out to the main castle itself. Now the goal for the rest of this video is going to basically be to visit the other 6 mirrors that we haven't found, or we already have found rather, and claim all the items behind those, and then we will basically be up to the end of the video by that point. So without any further delay, let's continue. Okay, the first mirror is at the upper right hand corner of that room shifting puzzle. Basically, just head into the mirror, same as always, and you can claim probably the best item behind all of these mirrors, which is Dracula's tunic. Now if we take a look at that, it's a tunic imbued with Dracula's dark power, and yeah, it boosts everything, so it's definitely the way to go as far as armor. And with that, we'll move on to the next mirror back in the Lost Village. Okay, we're way back in the Lost Village, kind of east of Hammer's shop. Now, notice in this room, there's this wall that was blocking you from getting to that other mirror. Well, if we head into the mirror corridor, and we can get through that. So now we can collect the item on the other side, which is the Tear of Blood. And of course, this is an accessory. It's a red jewel, the color of blood, and as you can see, it boosts everything except, of course, luck. It's a great accessory in combination with Dracula's tunic. If you're not using your rare ring or the Soul Eater ring. But other than that, yeah, I highly recommend that as a way to go. Anyway, yeah, that's it for this section. We'll move on to the next mirror, which is over in the Wizardry Lab. So I shall meet you there in just a moment. Okay, we're back here in the Wizardry Lab, and this was right after all of those ice blocks that you destroy with the Balor ability, as you can see right there. Now let's head into the mirror and collect our prize. There it is, and that is the Rosary. This is a nice little accessory. It's beads with a cross made of silver. It boosts your intelligence slightly, but check out that intelligence boost. A whopping 10 points. That's pretty awesome at this point in the game, especially since a lot of boss battles were using basically just soul-based abilities and not weapons at all. So yeah, that's a great accessory at this point. Other than that, you'll probably want to stick with your rare ring for your major accessory, just so you can collect drops a little easier. Otherwise, the Tear of Blood isn't bad. Anyway, there is an item I missed in the last episode, so I'm going to get that now. Okay, we're back in the Lost Village, and if you remember, I used the Axe's super attack to kind of clear out the map percentage here, but I forgot that there was actually an item you can only get once you have the ability to fly. It's a useless item, but I'm a completionist, so let's get it. There we go, the heart pendant. I've got several of these already, but I'll show it just in case. Yeah, pretty much worthless. Anyway, that's this item. Let's head back to the mirror searching. The next one is actually way down in Silent Ruins. Okay, we're back in Silent Ruins. This mirror, as you can see, is kind of infested with zombies. It's a neat little addition, though, as you'll see in just a moment. So let's head into the mirror. Let's see. Paranoia, there we go. And we get a super potion. And there's the neat little thing that I meant. Whoa, that was weird. I killed something on the other side of the mirror. I think that was a glitch. Anyway, yeah, you can see zombies on the other side, so you have to kind of time when you transition between the mirrors so you don't end up on top of a zombie. Yeah, anyway, let's move on to the next mirror. Alright, we're back in the Dark Chapel, and all the way at the bottom of the dungeon. What kind of church has a dungeon anyway? Well, I guess this is a Dracula-esque castle, so what do you expect? Celia's a bit of a freak. Anyway, we get the Begging Yord, which is another accessory, as usual. It's a belt worn by the deity of war. It amplifies power. And as you can see, it basically boosts your attack, strength, and defense quite significantly. So if you're using weapon abilities only, which we might be doing much later once I get the really good weapons from synthesizing, I may start using this, but until then, I'm using my soul abilities. Anyway, let's move on to the final mirror, which is all the way at the top of the Cursed Clock Tower. Well, not at the top, but near it, and I'll meet you there. Okay, we're at the final mirror that we have uncovered. This is kind of near the pendulum room, actually. Remember those that I took forever to climb up? It was terrible. Anyway, let's head into the mirror and collect our final item. And it's a platinum stud. Yeah, this castle's full of studs. Something tells me Celia was the decorator. Anyway, it's an expensive stud earring made of platinum, and it boosts your defense and intelligence, but it's pretty much worthless compared to all of your other much more superior accessories at this point. And I think that will actually end it for this episode. We're running short on time, but in the next episode, we'll pick up where we left off, kind of in the long hallway directly west of this in the Pinnacle, and we'll continue making progress towards hopefully Dario's location, or whoever's at the top. I imagine it's Dario. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.